Welcome back to another Chef Knives to Go quick look product review. I'm Steve Gamache, and what we have this time is the Harukaze VG-10 Tsuchime Petty 135mm knife. The way these are made is they've got multiple layers of soft stainless cladding on the top of a center hard core cutting edge steel of VG-10 full stainless. Heat treats about 60 Rockwell, so it's an all stainless blade. A lot of nice aesthetics going on here. So you can see the layers where the knife gets ground down towards the edge and thinned out. This is the core steel, that darker area there. And then we've got kind of a random hammered or Tsuchime pattern on this. The weight and dimensions on these can vary a little bit from knife to knife, but this particular one is 91 grams or 3.2 ounces. Edge length is right about 140, so about 5.5 inches. Overall length is about 9.7 inches. And then thickness-wise, it's fairly stout blades. I've got about 1.85, 1.9 millimeter thickness on the spine. And it pretty much just holds that all the way down. We thin out a little bit as we get the grind down towards the edge, and that includes the tip, of course. Not super skinny on the tip. You got a little bit of meat there. And then, not a particularly tall blade, but here's the back of the knife and what that looks like. So, fairly meaty. Height is 28.6 on this sample, so it's a fairly, I'll say short height-wise. 135, but 135 is not that long either. So, handle, they label it as rosewood. It's a full Western, or full tang with a stainless tang Western or Yo handle. So the tang goes all the way through, and then you got your slab sides here, and you got stainless steel rivets and what's called a pinned-on bolster towards the front. The coloring on this, hopefully the video is fairly accurate in your monitors, accurate or your device you're watching this on, but it's kind of a bit more of a brownish than reddish finish to it, and pretty consistent on the coloring from knife to knife I've seen. Let's see, balance point, as you might suspect, is going to be a little further back here because of the full tang handle and a light, smaller blade, so there's your balance point. Fit and finish is really nicely done. You've got a little bit of cleanup on the spine corners and a little bit of cleanup on the choil corners back here, so it's pretty comfortable out of the box. I'll give this one a 5 out of 10. I think the edge could maybe be a little cleaner, but you can put a really nice edge on this if you have the skill set to do that, or you could have Chef Knives to Go do that for you by purchasing the finish sharpening service and get a really nice, high grit, sharp, well-crafted edge out of the box. So there's our beauty shot. Again, a very nice looking blade. Lots going on here aesthetically. You've got laser etched kanji on the right side of the blade as you'd be holding it, using it. There's your hammered pattern. There's your layers. There's your core steel. And then on the left side, same thing without any kind of engraving or anything. The handle size is appropriate for this style of blade. And let's look at it on the cutting board. So here's what the core steel, I'm sorry, mind fart there. Here's what the cutting edge profile looks like. So kind of a mini gyuto kind of style. So we've got a little bit of belly towards the tip and a fairly flat back 40% of the blade right here. It kind of flows into a stop. It's a nice smooth transition from the tip to the back. So it floats or flows nicely on the board. And I can get in about right there on a rock. So this will rock, push, pull, cut, glide cut, a little bit of chopping in the back. With a knife that's not very tall like this one, you sometimes run out of room for your fingers on the cutting board. So if you've got a taller cutting board like this one with a little thickness to it, then you can just put the knife more towards the edge of the board and then work off that. Or if your cutting board's thin, you can move it to the edge of your countertop and achieve the same thing. Although food can obviously more easily pop off onto the floor, but your call how you want to use a blade like this. But these are quite versatile, trimming up, meats, poultry, sandwiches, small prep, garlic, all kinds of stuff. So these are pretty handy to have around the kitchen for lots of, small to intermediate tasks. And so this is the Harukaze VG-10 Tsuchime Petty 135mm knife.